Thanks for joining us. It's time to catch up in this new year with the Elko Area Chamber of Commerce. We're so happy to have Billie Crapo, Chamber CEO, in studio today. Welcome, Billie, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Lori.
Wow, we're off and running.
It's exciting. 2025.
2025.
It's going to be a great year of change, year of different things happening, but yeah, we're excited. We're leaping into 25 and are ready to go.
You know, sometimes you need to mix it up a little bit just to kind of get your blood rushing again and, you know, make you appreciate some of the things that we have going for us. And looking at it this way with the Elko Area Chamber of Commerce, the big news at the end of the year was that you would be absorbing what was known for decades as the Downtown Business Association. So tell us all about that, Billie. That is pretty amazing news.
It's very exciting news. And I'd been working with our board for the last couple of months. We just had tried to keep it fairly on the down low and making sure that we're doing all the proper steps. They approached me in probably October, November, and we were discussing the thought of the chamber taking over the DBA, absorbing it, not really takeover type situation, but their bylaws say that they should be running a board of nine members, and this past year they'd been only running with 7 because they didn't have a lot of participation. 5 of the 7 were leaving because they have other jobs, other commitments. One of them was Marissa Lastra, that's now city council. She's got an extra big job happening, and so they only had that left them with 2 people, and they put it out to their membership, and 1 person applied after the deadline. And so you can't run a board, you can't have a nonprofit without a board to run. So we went into the process of the chamber absorbing, and so we're still in all of the steps to take and those kind of things. At this point, the chamber has not received money from the DBA or anything like that. We're just doing all of the steps that we need to take and steps for them to drop their nonprofit status, and that they will be dissolving. So it's not like they're just taking a break. They are truly dissolving. So the DBA will no longer exist. So everything that happens with the events, they will be chamber events. And so we're wanting to let people know that we are still going to do wine walks. We are still going to do ghost tours. We are still going to do Snowflake Festival, Parade of Lights. None of those are going to go away. There may be some changes on how things are done. There may be some changes on dates. There may be changes on themes and different ideas, but we are still going to be doing events downtown. But our main thing is, yes, we're going to do these events, and that was one of the things that was very important to the DBA when they were dissolving, is that whoever was going to take over was going to continue activities and projects and things downtown. And so the chamber really does want to work on not just having events downtown, but doing some things downtown and some beautifications and some projects and different kinds of events and retail specials and things to get people downtown. If you go to other places and you see their downtowns, they're beautiful. There's seating outside. There's different things. There's so many flowers and all these things that are super inviting. We have beautiful shops downtown, wonderful restaurants downtown, and we would like people to want to come and want to be in our downtown, and that's their destination, and their evenings are downtown, and there's entertainment downtown and all the fun things. But we also have to remember, too, that we are the chamber, and so our whole sole focus isn't just on the downtown. We closed out 2024 with almost 700 members, and so we have a lot of businesses in town that we take care of, that we support, that we advocate for, and so we're not turning into the DBA. We are doing what the chamber does for our community, and hopefully in the end, people will be super pleased with what we can do with the downtown. I'm already working with Kathy Laughlin and the RDA on some thoughts and some ideas, and it's very important that things happen downtown. But like I said, projects, art, beautification, things to draw people downtown, things to draw people to these lovely shops and lovely restaurants, and cleaning it up down there. And we have opportunities for more trees and more flowers, and we're hoping that They're putting it out to bid for the sidewalk projects downtown. So we're hoping that those go through this summer, and that will put more trees downtown, where we can actually, they'll have trees in the sidewalks like they do on Idaho Street, so we can put lights in there, we can do power, we can do other projects like that as well. So it's not just, woohoo, we're going to do a wine walk. It's like, no, woohoo, we're going to do great things for the downtown.
Billie Crapo is Executive Director of our Elko Area Chamber, CEO. She is certainly got her work cut out for her, but an amazing staff to take this on. The Elko Area Chamber was established in 1907. It's the oldest chamber in Nevada, representing business throughout the Elko region, so it's not just Elko. So everything you're describing, it makes sense too, in that you're not trying to enhance, you're not trying to increase membership, because the fact is many of the DBA folks were already chamber members. In fact, you had served on the DBA board for a time.
There's been two different times that I sat on the board, but years and years of volunteering with the downtown. When I first started volunteering, it was Snowflake Festival, when we had a huge Snowflake Festival and doing the parades and those kind of things. So I do understand the downtown, and I understand the events and those kind of things. And my team is amazing. And so with my two Katies and Megan and myself, we're going to be able to do these things. Our ambassador program is top notch. Those volunteers are out there doing things. We have a great new board coming on. I just think that we can get some things done, and nothing against the DBA. They have done extremely well. Every one of their events have been successful. We're not taking an organization that was defaulting or not growing or anything like that. They gave us a gift. They handed us this gift of this organization and the funds and the successful events that are already going on, so we don't have to rethink everything and start from the bottom. We're already right there, just continuing with the success that the DBA has done. And considering that they, especially this last couple of years, have done it with 7 board members and 1 part-time employee and minimal amount of volunteerism, I mean, they have done a phenomenal job. And so for them to hand this over to us, I was so honored that they felt like we could do the job and that we could continue with the good works that they have done. And so thank you to all of the DBA and all of the volunteers that have done all this stuff, and the businesses downtown that have participated in that, and we hope we do you proud.
Billie, I'm sure there's absolutely no way that Elko Area Chamber would not make the entire business community proud. I'm glad you brought that up, because we have also tried to emphasize that this is not a failure nor a fault. The DBA worked hard, as you said, with the volunteers that they had, but the emphasis is on volunteer. We've seen some things happen in the community recently, and I think it is important to point out that if you don't have a strong board of directors, if you don't have volunteers that you can rely on, some of these even legacy institutions, we know the Fair Board has been scrutinized recently, and they're righting the ship. They're working hard to get things back on track. They have the trust of the community, Billie, but a lot of concerns, and then that focus on volunteers. People need to understand these are people with lives, professions, families, just like the rest of us, and they were doing this on top of everything else.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that unless somebody has truly volunteered and been out there and doing events and those kind of things, they don't understand how much work it goes into doing one of them. It's overwhelming sometimes, but when you see the event successfully happen and the people that are happy and all of the things, any kind of criticism, and it just doesn't matter, because you've done your best and you're working hard, but volunteerism is huge in this community, and I'm hoping that people will step up instead of having the criticism about this volunteer group or this volunteer group, that they'll step in and help out, because that's the way you make these events grow. That's the way you make them successful.
And we do have vacancies on several boards, committees, opportunities. As you mentioned, you don't have to be a chamber member necessarily to get your foot in the door at the chamber, to meet, to network, and then to see if it's right for you or your business.
Yes, absolutely. We are always looking for people that want to come and volunteer. We have, like I was saying, our phenomenal ambassador program that's ran by Megan and Marie Manning. They work really hard to to get things going. Their last meeting, they had 21 people in attendance. So that's 21 people that are volunteering their time, not just for the chamber, but for events out in the community and things that we can do. I mean, they're down to adopt a street, and they're out there picking up garbage. This group is top notch. And so I'm just proud. I'm so proud that they're part of the chamber and continue to want to be a part of the chamber. And so I think transitioning that into being able to do things downtown, and we're going to be reaching out to the businesses downtown and see if we can get some participation in some of the things and some of the cleanup and, getting the alleys cleaned and the flower beds cleaned and all of that kind of stuff. I think that if we work together, we can do great things.
Billie, and you mentioned too, already forming relationships, or should we say enhancing, because relationships were already there, but giving that care and attention to relationships with the city. The city needs that liaison. We need partnerships. The downtown area, as you said, it happens to be a geographic area, but it also qualifies in the general improvement district for storefront and infrastructure grants. There are tens of thousands of dollars available to the local business community for enhancement.
And so one of our goals, Kathy and I were working together on, is getting that information out to these businesses, because there's some really amazing grant money out there, and you can see some of the businesses down that town that have taken advantage of that, and their buildings look so good. So it's really important, and hopefully we can get some of these businesses downtown to invest back into their business.
Yep, even more. And as we talked about too, you mentioned, supporting the existing events. Great to know that wine walks will continue, the ghost tours, which are so popular and so appreciated, as well as the Snowflake Festival. But we also have all these other venues, as you mentioned, the restaurants, the bars, the nightlife. We have the Stage Door. They have live theater.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're featuring comics, stand-up comics. They're featuring playwrights, people who are writing and producing local material. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And so, so some of the goals are to get people to attend more of these events downtown and get that information out. We did have people ask, well, do you have to be a chamber member to participate in the wine walks? Yes, you will, just the same as you had to be a member of the DBA. So it's not really a whole lot different in that aspect. It's a membership. It's a business membership, and that's how we pay our dues, and that's how we pay our bills, and that's how we pay our staff. So we do have membership dues, but the chamber is different than the DBA because we have other benefits that go along with your dues. And
you have a full-time staff.
And a full-time staff. And so it's not like you pay your money and you get to do wine walks. You pay your money and then you get all of the benefits that the chamber can provide to you, which is a huge list. And like I said, the gals that work for me are amazing, and they can help you so much with your business and so much with graphic design and just getting out there and helping you with what you need to do to get more people in your stores or promotions and those kind of things. And so it won't just be a membership and you can do wine walks or those kind of things. It's going to be a membership that, yes, you can do the wine walks, but you will get so much more as well. And
I think it's important to mention, we don't often do it on the program, but chamber membership is actually very affordable, especially when you consider the strength and the advocacy of the organization, not only locally, but the influence statewide. People are paying much more to be chamber members in other areas, Billie, and you can actually make payments. You can break this up, and it really isn't prohibitive. And you have rates for nonprofits and small businesses?
Yes, definitely. And so it's a tiered level, so it depends on how many employees you have, but the majority of our members are on the base rate, and it's only $293 a year. So you're looking at maybe $30 a month, $20 a month. It's minimal a cost for all of the things that come with that, with your membership. And so we have Katie Ashley that's in charge of membership, and she's out visiting people and going over benefits. And right now she's added videos. So now she's doing member spotlights, but then now she's doing member videos. So we have a YouTube channel. So check us out, subscribe. We have videos going out there where people are talking about their business. They get to and do the interview. We had Dew Tide, and they sang on theirs too, so that's pretty fun. So we do have the YouTube channel that we are also posting our lunch and learns and our different events on there as well. And so it's different ways to get information out to people and different communities and those kind of things. And so there's a lot going on. Megan with her events is spectacular. Katie Bauckham, that's at the front desk, is the sweetest thing in the world. And so people come in and they love her, but she's busy doing graphic design and doing our newsletter and doing our weekly happenings and all of the stuff. And then I do have, both of my Katies are both notaries. So we do have free notary service at the chamber as well. And so you can come in and get notary. Katie Ashley is a traveling notary, so she can come to your business. So we try to make it easy for you for different things. So we try to add as much as possible to your chamber member benefits, and so you feel like you're getting all of your dollars worth. And it's just a matter of whether you use those benefits. But we are here. We're here for our members. We're here for our community. All of us are volunteering at other events, attending other events, and supporting any way we can for the Elko Spring Creek area.
Billie Crapo is Elko Area Chamber CEO, our guest today. We opened up the program talking about the big news of course, late last year and early in 2025, and that is the Elko Downtown Business Association. They have dissolved, and the Elko Area Chambers officially stepped up, and will showcase some of these fine Elko events that the DBA had been hosting over the years. And so those events will continue, and you can expect to see more advocating for business, enhancing our relationships. Billie, what more could a community ask for? So truly, I mean, thanks to you. There are some people that would have said, oh, we just can't take that on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And
it's not like, and that's the other, there was a frequently asked question about funds available in the DBA account. There's not a ton of money.
There's not. And the money wasn't our
incentive
to take this over. It was really to continue the things, especially because you'd mentioned before, the majority of the Downtown Business Association members are members of the chamber, and these were important events for them. And so we want to continue that and keep people going to the downtown. For a nonprofit to dissolve, they have to donate their funds to another nonprofit. And so they could have easily donated their funds to another organization. They could have given the funds to Fish, which would have done great things with it, but the events would have never happened again. So it was just the right fit, and it was the right time. And so we got through all of 2025. 2024, they had a very successful Snowflake Festival, despite the weather and all the things. Their little stocking stuffer where they went around to the businesses, they had 800 children purchase stockings. So people can't see that these events aren't successful if you have 800 children going around to the different businesses getting stocking stuffers. It's 800 children plus parents that are walking into your store. And so people love it. They had, I think, 60 entries in the Parade of Lights.
They kept coming.
And so many lights. And so it's a very look forward event. And so we're really excited and thinking, are we crazy? Because that's a huge event. But they did this with minimal amount of people. So
you're going to be able to apply that many more people, honestly, Billie, because again, the chamber organization is that strong and ready to pitch in. You wouldn't have done this without your board direction. So
no, absolutely not. And so it was, they came to me, I was like, yes, let me talk to my board. I talked to my exec board. They're like, do you want to take on more events? And I'm like, these are such strong established events. We're going to be great. And they're like, then you have our full backing. And so all of the board is with this and understand that it's more work and those kind of things, but they also understand that the DBA was a very important part of our community, and we didn't want that to die.
That's really important for the community to hear, Billie. You didn't want those events to go away, but at the same time, all of us need to step up. We need to, recruit a friend or a family member or a colleague from work. Everybody can help pitch in and, again, make these events even grander than they were, if it's possible.
If it's possible. That's not even our goal to make them better. We just wanted to do as well as they have done. And I had conversations with Jan Peterson to make sure. I'm like, ghost tours, we still want to happen. We're in. Are you in? She's like, I'm in. So yes.
Oh yeah.
So we'll still have Jan with our ghost tours, which 10 years was this year. In 2024, it was their 10th year of ghost tours, and so that's exciting.
It's exciting.
But yeah, so Jan is still on our team, going to help us with the ghost tours. So.
Yeah, it is definitely a crowd pleaser. We appreciate Jan so much. She brings those local history, the local stories to life with those reenactments during ghost tours, and it's a chance, again, to get downtown. So Super cool, Billie. So here we are off and running. We did want to mention that Business After Hours is an important networking, and that's going to be tonight, 5:30 at High Desert Imaging, right?
Yes. And they are showcasing their 3D mammography machine, so which is so important for us women. And ladies, get your mammos.
Yes,
very
definitely.
importantly,
Yes.
get those done. And so we're going to get to see their new machine and see all the different things that are happening down there and the different programs they have. They have all the different machines and tests they can do down there, but they do have things for cash pay with people without insurance and different options if that's a thing. So if it's a dollars that are keeping you from getting your tests, they will work with you. Definitely. So they do have, like I said, they do have some really great rates on some cash pay tests. And so check with them. You can even go on their website and they have that information as well. But they have, they came here in 2016 when it was much needed services, and they just were just a little office there off of A+, and they have continued to grow, and their new facility is gorgeous. And so come and get a tour, have some drinks with us, some food, some great raffles. It'll be a very nice evening.
2110 Idaho Street. They're in the, I guess it's called the
East End Mall?
East End Mall?
East End Mall?
East End Mall. Yeah, out there where, I guess Subway's over there, where, JCPenney's, it's on that end of the shopping plaza. 2110 Idaho Street, 5:30 to 7, High Desert Imaging. And they are just the most pleasant folks to work with, as you said.
Absolutely.
They're just great. So.
Absolutely. Their whole staff is great. And so we encourage you to come and join us and learn more about their services. They're located right next to the Community Health Center. So it's such a nice area over there now. And so it's growing. They're getting some businesses over there. So it's looking good.
Yeah, things are really looking good. And that's important to note, too. The more that we can invest in our local economy, the more we can support our local businesses who, are growing these attractions. I was at the same meeting you were at, Billie. Unfortunately, it didn't work out this year, but to have some art downtown.
Yes.
But we are working on getting some art for those pedestals because art attracts. We see that with the murals, the sculpture, the existing art that we have, and you're going to help grow that too.
Absolutely. And, they were looking at some beautiful art, and the funding just didn't work out at this time, but I really want to do some research into local artists, and, they have some beautiful artwork down at the GBC campus and that kind of thing. So I'm like, there's talented people in our community. Let's see what we can do. And so,
yeah, get some beautiful sculpture or whatever it might be.
Something like that. I grew up in this little tiny town up in northern Idaho, and there was a gentleman who made art out of junk, and he did dragons and horses and knights and all these kind of things. And this was when I was in grade school that he was doing all this, and it was fantastic. All over town, there was just his artwork everywhere. And I went home this summer, and some of those pieces are still there. And we're not going to talk about how many years that's been, but
decades. I'm sure.
But this was just a local resident that made art out of junk, and it was phenomenal. So I think we have some talent in this community that I'd like to do some more research and visit with.
Absolutely. And then we can work on, as an Elko community, maybe a maker space, because I know that's important for artists to come together, to have studio space, to place if they have to work on large, messy projects. Not everybody has a studio.
Yes,
so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So who knows what this could start.
What can it, but it's going to be good. I think it's baby stepping, but we're going to take those baby steps and maybe make them a little bit bigger. But I just want to see some good things happening downtown. So
I think you're onto something, Billie. I want to make sure we're getting to everything on your list today.
So mainly that way, I feel like my plan was to talk a lot about the DBA. I do want to throw out, like I said, my team this year is just amazing, and so we couldn't do all these things without them. The work that they do and the time that they give, and they're also volunteering other places, but then they're in shows. My Megan is working
in
on
Chicago,
and I'm so excited.
She got the best role for Megan. I mean, everybody is excited to see
just
Mama.
There. Yes. And so she's rehearsing and doing all the things, and she's glowing when she comes to work. Even after long rehearsals, she's just, this is her. This is her piece. And so they will I'm thinking they were saying sometime in February that the tickets would go on sale, and the shows are in March. I don't know exactly which 2 weekends in March that they're going to have. I think there's going to be 8 different shows. So
Yeah.
there's plenty of opportunity to see them. And of course, you'll get to see them on the Great Basin campus. So, that is so cool.
This is a collaboration of Overland Stage Theater and GBC Theater, and this is just being, not that they all aren't, but it is very professionally conducted. I think they're in rehearsal, well, there are obviously groups, but rehearsing almost every night, and the costumes will be extravagant. The music, I know that's a big part of, obviously, a musical in Chicago, but the dance numbers and the performances, they cast some newer people and they're getting enhanced vocal lessons. I mean, what an opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of confidence and a lot of pride. I think this one's going to be, if not as big, but certainly as popular as Les Mis was.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
huge.
So it's amazing for our little town.
It is.
Yeah.
It is to have this kind of spirit, and looking forward to that. The musical Chicago will be, it's in rehearsal now. It'll be staged in March, as Billie Crapo said, and there'll be tickets. You can get them at the Chamber, I'm sure.
I don't know if they will happen at the Chamber. I think that they're going to be available at Burke Hall.
Oh, Burke Hall. That's right. And I know that they're working on an online for that too.
That
but,
kind of thing.
yeah.
So they haven't, it's not, all that's not read, but get your tickets.
Yes, get your tickets.
You cannot miss this one. It's pretty cool to have that in our town. So
I know it's going to be fantastic. And we'll talk more about some other, I know that the Grimm Fairy Tales is coming up at Livingstone's Church.
Yes.
That's going to be in February. And then I know the Stage Door is doing auditions for a production of the Salem Witches, I think I can safely say. And they'll be having auditions for that in April.
I know.
If
it works in her schedule, Katie Ashley that works for me is planning on and trying out for that one.
Yeah, that looks really
so
cool.
we're auditioning for that one. So,
Yes.
Productions at the Stage Door are just lovely.
Yes.
It's just the proper venue, and it's just
It is,
a good vibe. So I'd love going to shows at the Stage Door.
I do too. A lot of camaraderie among the cast, and then a lot of the work is original. So Emily Anderson has sold one of her plays at least.
know.
So,
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. So a local playwright that is certainly successful. That's always great to hear. I mean, we love all the work that people produce. So yeah, there's just so many things to look forward to.
Yeah,
I know.
And I will mention that it is, of course, a legislative year. So Government Affairs Committee, the Chamber is going to be watching the different BDRs and different bills coming through. And so if you have something that you want the Chamber to keep an eye on, you feel like it's going to affect your business, different things like that, so let us know. If you need letters of support, we're always good for that as well. So please reach out if you have any questions on legislative. If you'd like to attend our government affairs meeting, they're open to the public. It's hard to say, it's like it's not the first Monday, that kind of thing. So we meet at the Chamber the Monday before the first city council meeting, and the first city council meeting is the second Tuesday. So we're the Monday before the second Tuesday. It's a little confusing, but if you just figure out the second Tuesday is city council, that Monday prior, we are going to be at the Chamber upstairs. It is open to the public. Please join us if you have any questions. We usually have people from the city and the county. Sometimes Berger is able to attend. We get to hear about what's going on with the different organizations, the convention center, the hospital, the realtors, different organizations like that. Sometimes Sheldon is there within an RDA to give reports. And so it's very interesting. And then it kind of gives you a glimpse into what's going to be on agenda for city council if you feel it's important for you to attend. So there's always that. But if you are interested, government affairs is open to the public. Join us. You can just sit there and listen. You can ask questions. We are going to start following the different BDRs and the bills and making sure that there's not things that affect our businesses. So we are truly out there advocating for our businesses.
And of course, we're talking with our chamber CEO, Billie Crapo, here on Elko Live today. And I think you were at the same town hall at GBC as I was Tuesday.
Correct.
Yes, we were there. So we heard about the funding formula that higher ed is seeking. And so that would level the funding formula for community colleges. The universities are apparently on board. But it's going to need legislative support, Billie. So that's going to be something that we want to make sure as a community we chime in on. And then air service development is important locally.
Yes.
And then we're hearing from our police chief, Ty Troughton, about the Tough on Crime, Safe Streets, and Neighborhood Act. The governor talked about that in his speech last night. That restores law and order. It would apprehend repeat offenders, of which our police chief said, about 3 to 5% of the population is responsible for about 90% of the crime. Isn't that
that's
that's the sad truth. Often fueled by drug or alcohol addiction. So that's going to be in play. The governors would like some bipartisan support on that. And then we're also hearing, and I think that you probably heard at the same meeting from Mayor Reese Keener, that we need to scrutinize insurance companies that want to lump our cities into those wildfire risk areas because they're canceling policies.
Yes, and that's tough.
That's huge.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So these are all issues that government affairs, your local chamber will follow up on. The governor's message, she's concerned about housing and healthcare, education, public safety, and economic diversification. So that applies to us too.
Yes, absolutely it does. So So if there's anything that you think of that, or you're going through and you're following, if you follow the legislation and you feel like there's something that the chamber should speak up on or a government affairs committee should speak up on, let me know, please.
Yep, we'll get you in the mix.
Because there's thousands of them.
Well, that's it.
So that's it. And so sometimes they go so quickly that you miss them. And so we're going to try to get as many eyes on it as possible and make sure that we're keeping track of them and making sure that we're doing the best for our businesses.
The best that we can. So, Billie, I guess in closing, I want to make sure, is there I was thinking it's January, you get a bit of a lull. Soon we're going to be talking about the home show.
Yes, so actually Megan's working on home show right now. So Mother's Day weekend, it'll be our 46th annual. So she is accepting vendors right now. If you want to be in the show, please join us. It's great. We usually have about 100 vendors, thousands of people that come through the doors. And so the convention center has this really great app that they can kind of track people and those kind of things. And so we don't really know how many people come. It's always kind of a guesstimate. But on Saturday of last year, there was almost 4,000 people, which could be the same people coming in and out sometimes. But that's a ton of people that are coming through to a show. So we have discounted rates for our chamber members, but we keep the rates really low for the weekend anyway. But it's a great show. So if you're interested vendor-wise, please join us. And then I don't want to forget that we have Cowboy Poetry next week. Yes.
I can't believe it's already.
I know. It's very exciting. So the city's getting ready for it. The Western Folklife's getting ready for it.
It's the 40th
annual. So that's wow. So so there's going to be different little shows all over the place and things happening, and so it's very cool.
We've got inner, outer circles. We've got museum.
We have stuff at the
trail center.
Stuff at the fairgrounds. They have so all kinds of things.
People do love the gathering, and for lots and lots of different reasons. And that's one of the things that makes Elko unique, is that we can all kind of get along,
Yep.
We just kind of get along.
So many things. So
yes.
We just love this. I just love this community and love everything that's happening here. I know there's negative things, there's positive things, but Elko is just a good place to be.
Yep, we can water the green spots.
Absolutely.
Billie, thank you so much, as always. We appreciate, and what an exciting 2025 we have, and we'll catch up with you as we do at least once a month here on Elko Live on KELK.
Thanks, Lori.